Hey everybody, welcome to another session of the Magic Master Summit. I'm your host, David Da Vinci, and right now we're going to do something special. We didn't do this last year, but I want to do a unique thing where everybody talks about branding, because I think as I get further into my career, I realize how important that is. So with us today to start this out with branding, it's Michael Trixx. Welcome back.
Hey Dave, thanks man.
Awesome.
Guys.
Now, as I look at your videos and the promo materials that you have such a very unique look, a unique style, much like a Dan Sperry or even Brad Ross or Murray Sawchuk. Everybody kind of has their own unique brand and their own look.
Right.
Tell us a little background about why you chose what you did and how much was intentional, how much of it was accidental, how much of it is magnified persona, and just kind of share a little bit of advice for people.
Right. Well, like I said, I hadn't seen him at a Trixx until I was 25 years old, and prior to that, I was playing in rock bands in the late 80s and early 90s, the big hair, lipstick bands, the glam stuff, and so when I slid from bands into magic, I just kind of kept who I was. It's who I am. It's not even a character that I had to build or choose who or what I want to be. When I started getting on stage doing stuff, I was given advice. The first time I ever got on stage, I did a talking bit, and I was just so nervous I wasn't into talking. And a magician that had got me on stage at that time had told me, do yourself a favor, don't talk anymore, just play some music and do magic, visual stuff. So that's what I did. The next night I came back to the show and he got me on stage again for a couple minutes, and I just put on some Kiss and Motley Crue or whatever, my music that I like, and it just made me so comfortable. That's who I am. And so it just, everything else went away. And I just got to rock out. I still get to rock out with my new passion, magic, and it just kind of, it's who I am. I didn't really have to build it. Of course, it amplifies who I am on stage and makes it a little more drastic, but it's just really who I am. I didn't have to work on building a character. It's just me, my facial expressions and other crazy eyes, everything I do on stage. People think, they comment on it all the time, like, man, your facial expressions are awesome, and I never had to work on that. That's just came, that's who I am, and so it just comes out.
Yeah, we talked, I think, with Dan Sperry last year about how, kind of his persona and everything, and I know with his situation, I've always wondered and I've been curious, how has his persona made it harder to get work? 'Cause he's super drastic in one direction, which might open up a whole field that you and I don't have access to.
Right.
But for your situation, you mentioned in your lecture here, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, do check it out. It's how to get basically $150 a show, but make 6 figures a year. It's a killer lecture. But you mentioned in that lecture how you're this rock and roll magician, and you get old people come to the keys. You get people that aren't really into rock necessarily.
I've done everything from nursing homes to preschools and nursery schools, and it's really just about selling it. And you talk about Dan Sperry's character, and if you I know you do know, if you know, he changed a lot until he became who he really is and who he wants to be. Like, that's not built through, that's just who he is on stage, and that's why he's so comfortable in it. And that he's still lovable, as scary as he looks. It's like the Tim Burton thing people always say when they see him. He's still lovable, as scary, because it's that kind of tongue-in-cheek way he is. And me, in the beginning, I was angry, just out there where you didn't like that. How about this? I came from rock and roll. Well, I was aggressive. I was the Ozzy Osbourne of magic. I was aggressive and angry at the world, kind of. And I had to become nicer and happier on stage, because even when I was just being normal, I scare people. Like, like Dan's super scary but lovable, and I try and be nice, and I'm still a little scary to people because just I'm a intense person, I guess. But so the nicer I became and the more fun, happier I became in life, came across more on stage for me too. So my characters lighten up into the more pop, glammy rock thing instead of the dark, angry rock thing.
Yeah. So it's morphed not only with your personal life has changed, and that's
things
helped morph your character, but also with morphing your character. Has it opened up more doors for you for shows or opportunities?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. It makes me be able to get a wider range of shows. I mean, I could be doing, corporate stuff on a golf course or a yacht club on Cape Cod, and those people seem to like to mingle with, oh my God, he's from the street, and it makes them feel a little dirty, and then they like that too, you know what I mean? Because look at that, he grew up in the streets, and so, but and so I get a lot more of that kind of work too, like, because they get to see that side of whatever, and it's about and it's good magic. It's about the magic too. Yeah. But they kind of like that too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife and I recently saw a show, and the show itself, I mean, the illusions were amazing. Everything had the ability to be incredible. And at the end of the day, we left the show, we're like, wow, what'd you think? Oh, I really liked him. I really liked him. And everything we said was about how much we liked the performer. If we went back and we really critiqued it, it was the first time I've ever seen suspended animation flash. You could see certain things were exposed in the show, and I won't say much more because I don't want people to know who he is.
It is, right? Yeah.
But at the end of it, we're like, no, we liked him. And you mentioned that the magic has to be good, and yes, I agree the magic should be good, but with your persona, your character, as long as you are likable, that comes across, and the people will like you.
That's been said a lot in magic, and it's absolutely true. If they like you, they'll like whatever you do.
Yeah.
So if you can get them to like you and on your side, they're going to come with you on the ride of whatever you're doing. And just if you're enjoying it too, that's going to come across to them too. So enjoy what you do too, because they'll feel that also.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, in your branding, how much of it is intentional? Like, now that you know who your character is, and you say it's part of you.
Yeah.
You know, how much with the hat, the bandanas, you wear the same chain, the same shoes. Like, how much of it is intentional now that you're established?
It's it doesn't even. I've never even thought of that, because this is how I dress every day.
Right. Okay.
In the Keys it would be shorts or cut off whatever with patches on the pants, but bandanas is just an everyday thing for me, and it's really just who I am. I try to dress it up a little bit more for the stage, a little bling on my jacket and stuff for the show.
Yeah.
But I don't walk around like that, so I intensified a little bit more on stage, but it's just, again, it's just who I am. I don't really have to work. I never really thought about it. You just popped that question on me, and I don't think about that. I dress how I want, and I'm comfortable in my own skin of who I am. And I get looks everywhere I go, because I walk through the airport like this is how I showed up yesterday, right? I had my hat and bandana, and that's how I go through the airport and whatever I'm doing. So I get the looks, but that's fine. Who doesn't want to be the center of attention when they walk in a room? Maybe some people don't, but I don't mind it.
Right.
And being a McBride student, again, I'm a 24/7 magician, so if anyone does come up to me, oh, what are you, a magician or musician? Boom, I'm loaded all the time. I always got tricks. Everywhere I go, I have tricks with me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys just, I'm on when I'm on, I'm off when I'm off. I'm always on.
Yeah.
I love what I do, and I love magic, and I'll be happy to do it for anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Last thought on this before we wrap it up. Is there, it sounds like most of your character has been accidental, and I should actually say this before I ask the last question. I went to the Keys, we used to go quite a bit. We went to a restaurant, and what you're doing is working. This is about 8 to 10 years ago, and people were saying, oh, you got to go down, how far south are you going, you got to see Michael Trixx. And I knew of you, but this is somebody who was still 200 miles north saying, you got to go down, you got to see the show. So what you're doing is working, which is awesome.
I know guys like Eric Olson from Wizards up in Orlando. He used to live in Orlando. They used to come down to the Keys a lot and see me, and they would say they hear people talking about it up there if they went to the Keys and saw this guy. Hey, have you heard of this guy? And so word gets. I've built a good name for myself down there, and I've never used an agent. I've never used a manager.
Yeah.
I've never advertised a thing for myself. Everything I've ever done is just me being out there doing it.
Yeah.
Word of mouth, and even my tour all the way up the coast in the summer. There's people I've met over the years doing shows that have seen my show and know it's good. I have a hard time selling my show over the phone. If you call a comedy club and go, hey, I'm a great magic, nah.
Right.
It's just magic's got that name that. So my thing's always been see my live show and then hire me.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, but since you kind of fell into your persona, it may not be the best question, so I'll switch it up here.
Yeah.
Your name change. So your stage name.
Yeah.
What was your decision to have a stage name, and how has that impacted your career?
Well, my first couple of years, I was just like everyone else does, Magic Mike. It had that nice ring to it, and I made up the cards, Magic Mike, and that's what I was known on Cape Cod, so people still call me that when I go home. And I absolutely hate it, because when I started touring, everywhere I went, there was Magic Mark, Magic Matt, Bill, Pete. It didn't have to even be the M, Magic MM thing ringing. It's everyone's Magic Dave, whatever. And when I thought of a name, and I used to say to people, show me, I don't do tricks, I do miracles. Like, I hated the trick. And then I just went hookers do tricks. I do, magic, whatever. And then I just went the total other way with it. And Motley Crue being my favorite band, Nikki Sixx, my idol, Michael Trixx, Nikki Sixx, the 2 X's, that just kind of, once it clicked to me, it was boom, Trixx with the 2 X's. And and that was just a couple years into my Magic career, so it wasn't like a conscious thing halfway through. I need a good stage name. Like some people have changed their name halfway through their career, right. Dave?
Yeah.
And
that was tough. That was really tough.
Yeah, I know.
And now it's stuck. But it was like a decade
to get even people. I know.
And even everybody watching this are like, oh yeah, Womack, we've got his DVDs, and it's like outside of the Magic world, nobody can remember my last name, and so for me that was a huge thing, and and it fit.
Now it's got an awesome ring to it. And,
it works now, right? It's memorable and all that stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, coming up, do you have to have a stage name? No. You know, if you got a cool name like Dan Sperry, go with it.
Right.
You know, or you know, a name that worked. There's a lot of cool names out there that are people's real names, and then you don't got to go change it on Facebook. Like I still have to be Michael Costa on Facebook because it's got to be your real name. So I love it, and that's what I'm known as, Michael Trixx now, and I dig it. I love it. But you don't have to have a stage name, I don't think, if it sounds more, you know, the amazing whatever, or is for, you know,
the amazing
whatever
Jonathan.
you're doing. Yeah, you know, and then but then the same guy doing the birthday parties is the amazing Phil, and,
right?
You know, or you know, so whatever works for you. I think I don't think you have to have a stage name, but it's fun and it
should be
cool.
memorable, no matter what it is. Like you said, you know, Dan Sperry's got a cool name.
Yeah,
it's memorable.
Yeah,
and I think Michael Trixx fits right in there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for your help.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Dave.
it.
Awesome. Cool.